Mr. Pompeo, good morning to you, and happy Christmas Eve.
Thank you. Happy Christmas Eve to you, Steve. It's great to be with you this morning.
What do you make of Mr. Putin saying, don't blame us, blame the West? He was also asked, will you guarantee you won't invade Ukraine? And he goes, no.
Well, Vladimir Putin's been on the stage for an awfully long time. He knows full well that Latvia, Estonia, they're not going to invade Russia. He knows this. It's a fake victimization to assert somehow that he feels threatened from those countries for an invasion. He's the one that's raised the tensions. That fault lies with him, but there's fault in the Biden administration too. When Putin saw what happened in Afghanistan, the terrible tragedy of 13 Americans being killed and real weakness being shown, when we gave him the opportunity to finish his pipeline to have energy control over Germany, he saw American weakness. And so I think what you've seen over these past days and weeks is him putting pressure on the Americans, looking for concessions, trying to achieve something through threats and coercion that he doesn't want to do militarily, but he's perfectly prepared to push the Biden administration to the edge to see if he can't get what he'd really like.
And you know, Mr. Secretary, when the President of the United States had a virtual summit with Mr. Putin a couple of weeks ago, he said, Joe Biden said, if you invade, there are going to be heavy economic sanctions. Is that big enough? And he said, for the most part, military hardware off the table. Is that enough of a big stick?
Against the backdrop, Steve, we forget in just this year, it's been a long year. The first 11 months now of the Biden administration. We forget it was Russia that shut down a pipeline inside the United States, closing off gasoline to the United States for days. And President Biden said, don't do that again. Made what turned out to be a pretty idle threat. There were no real costs imposed that we're aware of. So I suspect Putin takes those threats with a grain of salt. It's going to take firm resolve, demonstrated resolve, not just words but deeds, and a preparedness and a demonstration of preparedness from the Biden administration to stop Putin from acting in this coercive way.
Sure. I remember you from when you were our Kansas congressman. What sort of traditions, family Kansan traditions, did you have at Christmas time, Mr. Secretary?
Steve, we had a couple. One of my favorites was that every year our family would gather together. We would make the secret Pompeo Mercer fudge recipe. It came from my mom's side of the family. It was her mother, Grace Mercer's recipe. I released it when I was CI director. We thought it'd be fun to take a secret recipe and release it when you were the CI director, and we make it every year. Mom was clearly in charge. Dad and I and my brother and sister were the labor, but it was always joyous. We would make fudge. We'd distribute it to people in the neighborhood and teachers and the like. Steve, the kinds of things families do together. Now my family, my wife Susan, my son Nick, and his fiancée Rachel will repeat that now this year. And it's a lot of fun just to gather around in the kitchen to talk and to work a little bit and to do a good turn for friends and people we love.
Well, that's great. Obviously, the fudge recipe has been declassified because we just put it on TV. One of the Ducey family traditions is I would always tape the children running down the stairs, and I showed that a couple of days ago. The other thing we do every Christmas Eve, and we'll do it tonight, our town has a sing-along where everybody gathers and we sing actual Christmas carols. And I think we've got some pictures of it where the kids do the singing, they hand out the sheet music, and there you can see right there, it's dark. Peter Ducey has got the flashlight. He is also the town's deepest voice. He's got the best baritone as they recreate 12 Days of Christmas. The Duceys were two turtle doves. Very nice. Anyway, and there we are with Santa.
Lots
Mike Pompeo,
fun,
thank you very much.
If I sang, I'd kill your ratings this morning, Steve.
Oh, it's Christmas. Anything goes. Mr. Pompeo, thank you very much for joining us, and Merry Christmas to you
Steve.
and your
Bless
entire
you.
family.
Merry Christmas to you all as well.
I tell you what, Mr. Pompeo, could we put that recipe on Fox and Friends so we could share it with everybody?
Yeah, that'd be awesome, Steve. I would love that. Susan and my mother, who's passed away now, would love that as well.
Okay, so folks, give us a half an hour, and we will get a link to the family secret fudge recipe. All right, Mike, thank you very much. Merry Christmas.
Thanks, Steve. So long, sir.